What would you risk for strangers who have nowhere else to turn? Today, we're diving into the heart-stirring true story of Elias Booker, a black rancher alone in the Arizona desert, whose life changed when 10 Apache fugitives sought his help. This isn't just about survival, it's about trust, courage, and a legacy that reshaped a community. Drop a comment. When have you helped someone against all odds? Smash that like button, subscribe, and join the Sofia Stories family for stories that inspire and uplift. Let us journey into this unforgettable tale. The Arizona desert shimmered under a merciless sun in July 1870, its heat baking the red earth of Redstone Valley. Elias Booker, a 40-year-old black rancher, stood outside his weathered cabin, his broad hands wiping sweat from his brow as he surveyed his 40 acres of scrub and cattle. For 4 years, no one had set foot on his land, no neighbors, no traders, just the howl of coyotes and the rustle of mesquite in the wind. Born into slavery in Alabama, Elias had fought for the Union in the Civil War, earning freedom but carrying scars of loss. He'd come west seeking solitude, building his cabin with salvaged timber, digging a well by hand, and raising 15 head of cattle. His only companions were a battered guitar and a Bible he rarely opened, its pages heavy with memories of a world that had betrayed him. Elias wasn't always a recluse. As a child, he'd sung spirituals under Alabama stars, his mother teaching him chords on a stolen banjo. The war gave him a rifle and purpose, but also pain: a sister lost to disease, comrades felled by betrayal. After freedom, he drifted, shoeing horses and hauling freight, but townsfolk's whispers, too proud, too quiet, drove him to Redstone Valley, a place too harsh for settlers' greed. Every Sunday, he rode into Redstone, a dusty town of saloons and suspicious glances, for flour, salt, and lamp oil. He spoke little, trusted less, and kept his guitar's music for himself, fearing judgment. Trust, he'd learned, was a trap people took more than they gave. But on a sweltering afternoon, as the sky burned orange, everything shifted. Elias was checking his cattle when dust rose on the horizon. 10 figures on horseback emerged, their silhouettes wavering in the heat. Not ranchers, not soldiers, their long hair and worn moccasins marked them as Apache, a people hunted by settlers and the army for resisting encroachment. Elias's hand rested on the pistol at his hip, caution born of solitude. Tales of Apache defiance, some true, some spun to justify violence, echoed in his mind. The group stopped at his gate, led by a wiry man named Chev, his eyes fierce yet weary, his voice steady. "We need shelter," he said. "Just a night. They're after us." Elias studied them: 6 men, 3 women, 1 boy, all marked by exhaustion. A woman clutched a bandaged arm. The boy, no older than 14, swayed on his horse, feverish. "Why me?" Elias asked, his voice rough. Chev met his gaze. "You're alone. No one comes here. Soldiers chase us for a raid we didn't do. We need a place to hide." Elias saw the truth in their faces: fear, not malice. His past urged him to turn them away. He'd been cheated by those he helped before. But the boy's fevered eyes stirred a memory: his sister, sick and abandoned. One night, Elias said, pointing to his barn. Stay there. Don't touch my herd. Shev nodded, leading the group to the barn, their steps silent but purposeful. Elias watched closely, expecting theft: a missing tool, a stolen calf. But by dawn, he found his water trough cleaned, its leaks patched with clay. The barn's loose boards were nailed tight, the work unasked. A woman, Lona, showed him how to weave mesquite bark into rope, stronger than his frayed hemp. Elias shared cornbread and beans, his stores thin but enough. They ate sparingly, thanking him with quiet gestures. One night became 3, then a week. The boy, Nico, began to recover, his fever breaking under Lona's care with desert herbs. Respect grew, not in words but in actions. Elias's food met with their labor, a fragile trust taking root. Elias's solitude began to crack. He buried his music years ago, fearing it made him vulnerable. But one evening, as the Apaches sat by a fire, Nico hummed a tune, soft and mournful. Elias hesitated, then pulled out his guitar, strumming a spiritual his mother taught him. The notes hung in the air, blending with Nico's hum. Shev joined, his voice low, singing an Apache chant. The others followed, their voices weaving a harmony that felt ancient yet new. For the first time in years, Elias felt connected, the music a bridge across their worlds. Shev spoke after, firelight flickering. Why live out here alone? Elias's throat tightened. The world wanted to break me. Out here, I'm whole. Shev nodded. We know that fight. To live free is to fight every day. Elias's past unspooled in quiet moments. As a boy, he'd hidden in barns to escape beatings, his mother's songs his only solace. The war gave him freedom but stole his family. A white captain's false promise led to an ambush, costing lives. Redstone was his refuge, but loneliness had become its own chain. The Apache's presence stirred memories of his mother's strength, her belief in helping the weary. Shev shared their story. Their band, part of a larger tribe, had been driven from their lands, accused of a raid on a settler's ranch, a lie to justify soldiers' pursuit. They lost kin, their camp burned, leaving them fugitives. Elias saw himself in their defiance, their will to survive a world that rejected them. Trouble came on the 8th day. Dust clouds signaled riders. 5 soldiers, rifles slung, led by a stern lieutenant named Holt. They dismounted at Elias's gate, their faces hard. We're after Apache fugitives, Holt barked. They're here. Surrender them. Elias stepped forward, his pistol holstered but ready. This is my land. No one's here but me. Holt's eyes narrowed, recognizing Elias from Redstone, a black man most ignored. You'd harbor thieves? He spat. Step aside, or you're with them. Elias stood firm. They've done me no wrong. You want them, you deal with me. The soldiers shifted, hands on rifles, but Elias's calm resolve held them at bay. The standoff stretched, the desert silent but for a hawk's cry. Finally, Holt retreated, promising to return with more men. Elias knew time was short. That night, he told Chev, "You need to go head for the canyons." Chev met his eyes, gratitude deep. Before leaving, Lona handed Elias a woven mesquite bracelet, its pattern intricate. "For strength," she said. "You gave us more than a roof, you gave us trust." The Apaches slipped into the darkness, their shadows fading. Elias stood alone, the bracelet warm in his hand, his solitude now a choice, not a weight. Redstone buzzed with the story. Some called Elias a fool, risking his life for savages. Others, led by a shopkeeper named Clara, saw courage. She invited Elias to a town festival, a rare event where Redstone's outcasts, freedmen, drifters gathered. Elias hesitated but attended, playing his guitar for the first time publicly. The crowd, skeptical at first, swayed to his music, a spiritual blending with Apache echoes he learned. The festival became a turning point, Redstone softening toward outsiders. Years later, Apache traders spoke of Chev's band, safe in the canyons, their survival tied to Elias's stand. His ranch became a haven for wanderers, his music a beacon. When he died, decades later, the bracelet was buried with him, his legacy woven into Redstone's heart, a testament to trust born in defiance. What does standing up mean to you? Comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe to Sofia Stories for more stories of heart and hope. Share this with someone who needs it. Until next time.